welcome to Your World Tonight. I'm Aisha Sindhu. On the show today, sport or savagery? The debate over Jallikattu rages on even after India's Supreme Court dismisses a plea asking for the ban on the bull taming sport to be lifted, and Greenpeace warns that Delhi may be home to India's most polluted air. We're going to get to all that in a bit. First up, a look at the top stories. Tata Sons finds a replacement for Cyrus Mistry. TCS CEO Natarajan Chandrasekhar appointed as the new chairman. Supreme Court rejects plea to allow bull taming sport Jallikattu in Tamil Nadu during Pongal festivities this year. Air pollution kills 12 lakh Indians in a year, says a new study. Delhi is the most polluted of them all. Days after a BSF constable's video highlights the poor living conditions for soldiers along the border, now CRPF personnel posts a video alleging discrimination between facilities provided to the army and paramilitary forces. And leaked emails reveal plan to influence England cricket team's tour to India. Ousted BCCI Secretary Ajay Shirke accused of urging England Cricket Board to call off their India tour. The big breaking story this hour: after days of suspense, the Tata Sons has finally selected TCS MD and CEO N. Chandrasekharan as its next chairman. A formal announcement was made soon after an unscheduled board meeting at the Bombay House on Thursday afternoon. N. Chandrasekharan replaces Cyrus Mistry, who was removed as the chairman in October. Ratan Tata had taken over as the interim chairman after Mistry's ouster. The 4-month deadline to choose a successor to Mistry ends next month. In October, Tata Sons board had set up a 5-member selection committee to choose a new chairman.
The challenges, I don't know if Chandra knows what challenges are.
Okay.
For him, nothing's a challenge, everything is doable. No, he's a remarkable choice in my opinion. And he's a great leader. He's a Tata man, Tata lifer. I've worked very closely with Chandra, and I think it's absolutely the perfect choice.
WION's business correspondent Chaiti Narula joins us for more on that story. Chaiti, you've been tracking this one from the very outset. What are you picking up on Chandrasekharan's appointment?
I think it's a very good move for Tata Sons to have somebody from within one of the Tata Group companies, especially TCS CEO and chairman, to take over as the chairman of Tata Sons, because he is internally in the know-how of the operations, the governance and the cultural ethos that runs within the Tata Sons as well. Remember, when Cyrus Mistry was ousted as the chairman of Tata Sons, the major bone of contention from the Tata's end was the fact that the working culture and the value systems were not really matching. As far as he's concerned, the new chairman of Tata Sons now, N. Chandrasekharan, you see where he is taking Tata Consultancy Services from where it used to be to where it is in terms of a triple-fold top line, triple-fold profit as well, and also brings on the table fair bit of global exposure, which is very important for the salt to steel conglomerate called Tata Sons. And you know, this really does not come as a surprise at all for him to take over as the chairman, because the others that they said were in the reckoning. Was hard to believe that somebody like an Indra Nooyi, who would leave PepsiCo to come and join Tata Sons as the chairman of this particular company as well. So obviously we knew it for the longest time that one of the existing CEOs or chairman of any of the Tata companies would come on board to chair Tata Sons, and it's come in as no surprise. And I personally spoke to a lot of industry leaders and market analysts, and they're very, very happy and welcoming of this decision. And Tata Sons from here on has a long way to go after him coming on board and being the torchbearer of this erstwhile company.
Right, Chaiti. In fact, with the Mistry's ouster, you know, Tata Sons came into a space that it had never been in before. We'd never heard any sort of murky news or controversy really surrounding that conglomerate. But with Mistry's ouster, you know, a lot of questions were raised about the way the company was run. Do you think the announcement that's come earlier than expected, as far as the chairman goes, brings back a certain amount of stability to the brand?
Well, there are two parts to this, that the announcement has come earlier than expected. Yes, there was a 4-month deadline given by Ratan Tata for this announcement to come in, and this has been a timely appointment of a chairman which is from within the Tata Group companies as well. As far as the tarnishing of the brand is concerned, the damage was already done when Mistry was ousted. It was something that put Tata Sons to wash dirty linen in the public between Ratan Tata and Cyrus Mistry. A legal battle was inevitable, and it's going on as we speak as well. And as far as the stability is concerned, Tata Sons, regardless of whether Ratan Tata is the chairman or Cyrus Mistry is the chairman or the new chairman taking over, nothing really impacts the stability of the salt to steel conglomerate because they have a great foothold. As far as the fundamentals of all the Tata Sons holding companies are concerned, they're very, very strong. Even as far as the market's impact was concerned, it was just a near-term, knee-jerk impact on this, and a lot of questions came up about the reverence of this erstwhile company. But nothing really could shake the stability of the company, because within the Tata Sons, all the companies that were being run by very, very able torchbearers.
All right, Chetty Narula there in the newsroom. Thanks so much for joining us with those details. We will, of course, continue to go back to Chetty for more on that story through the week as we get to hear more about the new TCS chairman. We are going to keep you updated on some of our other big stories for the evening. First up, actually, let's talk a little bit more about the Jallikattu ban. The Supreme Court of India has now decided to reject the plea asking for the ban to be lifted on the sport. This is one of the most watched and enjoyed sports in the state of Tamil Nadu, especially around the time of the festival of Pongal. However, animal rights activists have raised concerns about the kind of treatment meted out to the bulls that participate in the sport. This is, of course, a major setback for Tamil Nadu because India's Supreme Court rejected that plea to allow the sport to be held in Tamil Nadu during the Pongal festivities this year. The Supreme Court turned down the plea that sought its intervention in passing judgment on Jallikattu before this Saturday and said that it is unfair to ask the bench to pass an order. The Apex Court in November last year had dismissed the plea of the Tamil Nadu government seeking a review of its 2014 judgment that banned the use of bulls for Jallikattu in Tamil Nadu.
Knowing the sentiments of the people of Tamil Nadu, the state government or the central government has to bring out this ordinance. If they fail to do that, I don't think they can prevent Jallikattu being conducted this year against all the orders like. And as a political party, it is a responsibility of us to support what is there, the sentiments of the Tamil Nadu. It is not a political issue.
But today they are making as a politics. But what we are requesting, including DMK, this is not a political issue. Now everything must join together. All the hands must join together to bring back our culture game, our cultural play to the Tamil Nadu again. So that's the only thing ADMK's view.
Right, so that is a big story developing here in India. Remember, the sport is one that is enjoyed and participated in by a number of people across the state of Tamil Nadu in India's south. Now, animal rights activists say that the animals are treated cruelly and have asked for the ban to stay in place. Our chief domestic correspondent, Kartikeya Sharma, joins us on the phone line right now for more on that story. Kartikeya, at the end of it all, is this debate more about, political decisions, or is it about the actual fact that is this actually a sport or is it savagery?
I think it's more about political decision. Jallikattu, for me, it is not about even a political decision. Let me two-way. It represents failure of the constitutional mechanism of India. It represents failure of the political executive to enforce judicial will. It's a failure of a where state governments refuse to believe and refuse to follow the limited mandate they have. It is a failure of a system where center peddles the regional sentiment so that it can accrue them certain wider gains. It is a failure of a state central mechanism. And I would say that this has not happened for the first time. This has happened again and again. In UPA too, when LTT operations were on, our Prime Minister, then Manmohan Singh, could not go into Sri Lanka. He had to send Salman Khurshid. So it's a failure of mechanism where ethnicities and nationalities cannot correspond with each other. And I would say it's not about just Jallikattu. It's about a judicial decision pronounced on progressive grounds as cruelty against animals And the state government, because it has specific position in the scheme of things, important, for example, if it comes to presidential elections, is pushing against judicial intervention. So I would say this, though it might look small, but it has grave consequences for the federal structure of this country.
Right, Kartikeya, do you think that there's any end in sight as far as this struggle goes? Then the Supreme Court is banning the sport on the basis of calling it constitutionally against the spirit of India. On the other hand, Tamil Nadu is saying that it's part of its cultural ethos. Is there really any winner in a battle such as this?
See, it's like bullfight in Spain. Many people say that it's against the tradition, but the people support it. But in Spain, there has been no judicial intervention. In Jallikattu, a judicial intervention has taken place. The bulls are intoxicated. The tails are bitten. Now, the question is violence intrinsic part of culture? Yes. Is violence against animals an intrinsic part of culture? Yes. So the question would be, so what should one do? Shouldn't the cultural norms be respected? Well, the cultural norms should be respected till the court has pronounced the decision. Either there should be an act of parliament overthrowing the judgment of the state, or the judicial position should be respected, or there will be a complete breakdown of law and order. It's like saying, well, we respect the court, but we will not respect the verdict of the court on Kaveri. It's like saying we respect the Supreme Court, but we will not respect the Supreme Court's view on triple talaq. So then what will the Supreme Court be for? It will become free for all. So point is, till the decision has not been announced, you can contest. But once the decision is out, the contest is over. What needs to be done is implementation. It's now a constitutional issue. It's not a cultural position anymore.
Right, Kartikeya. Another one in a long line of, in that list of, individuals and bodies showing heft towards the apex court's decisions. But thank you for joining us with those details on that story. We are going to take a quick break here on Beyond. For the moment, we'll be back with a special on air pollution in Delhi in just a bit. Stay with us.